One of the things that makes so much psychospiritual teaching seem paradoxical is that we treat words as if they always mean the same thing. And yet, any word, first off, can be made to mean anything. Mark Twain once said that it's a poor and simple mind that can only spell a word in one way. And I always thought it's a poor and simple mind that thinks a word can only be defined in one way. So when we talk about truth, sometimes we are talking about a capital T, is how I distinguish it, truth, that is true whether you believe it or not. That is true for all people, regardless of what they think, where they're from, who they are. And then there are millions upon millions, billions actually, of personal truths, little t truths, which is honest. I honestly feel upset about what you did. I honestly don't like this. I honestly think this is wrong. That doesn't mean it's capital T truth, but it is true in my world. And so sometimes when we have conversations about truth, if we're not really explicit about are we talking capital T truth or little t truth, it seems confusing. So it seems to me to be capital T true that we live in the feeling of thought, not the feeling of circumstances. That nothing outside of me can cause me to feel a certain way. That feelings, in fact, are not an attribute of things. Nothing, no thing is scary. No thing is fun. No thing is good. No thing is bad. And that is revolutionary in a culture that starts from the premise that our feelings come from our circumstances. Where it gets confusing is where we start valuing accuracy over kindness. So the idea that because there really isn't any such thing as a sunrise or a sunset, that whenever somebody is enjoying a sunrise or sunset, it's our job to point out to them that, it's really actually just the way the earth is spinning in relation to the position of the sun and the moon that is causing the illusion of the sun. It's true. But it's not particularly helpful, and you could even look at it as a bit unkind. So there is a difference to my mind between that which is true, that which in the moment might be kind, and that which comes from compliance and fear. So cancel culture, the idea that we're very delicate little creatures, and if anyone says something we don't agree with, it does irreparable harm to us in some way, is not based on capital T truth. But if it is somebody's small t truth, there is a kindness to taking it into account when one can. But you can tell in yourself if your interactions are coming from that kindness, or they're coming from the fear of being canceled if you don't get it right. I'm a huge fan of what comes from kindness in the honor of, in the reflection of capital T truth. Capital T truth with genuine kindness seems to me to move the world and call the best in people forth. small t truth, whether you try to mix it with kindness or fear and compliance, leads people astray because it's not true. It's fruit of the poisonous tree, as I'll often say. Everything that comes from an untruth is built on something that doesn't have permanence, that won't always be true, even if it sometimes seems to be. I have never seen anything that comes from fear, whether in service of capital T truth or small t truth, that makes the world a better place for anyone. So while in my teaching, in my writing, in my sharing, I always try to come from kindness and respect for people's small t truths, I have learned to notice when I'm actually coming from fear. When I was an actor, we used to call it fear masquerading as good taste. In spirituality, I would call it fear masquerading as kindness, masquerading as tolerance. And only you know. You can't tell by the behavior. You can only tell by the feeling.